It's Thursday, and I've come back from seeing Scream 6. So, as promised, here's my non spoiler review of Scream 6 and kind of what I thought about it. So, let's jump right into it. So, Scream 6 was actually pretty amazing. And the reason it was amazing was it did something right. It defied the expectations of the fans and did something that they knew on the normal might make fans mad. But at the same time, they played around with this entire concept in the movie and gave us something new and unique. While staying with the basic formula of the Scream movies, we are treated to a roller coaster ride that we cannot escape from. We are treated to a roller coaster ride in this movie that becomes just this amazing thing to watch. And that is no easy feat for a movie that has had 6 sequels. To actually bring the Scream franchise back to something fresh, something new, while maintaining its formula is something that a lot of movies in the past have gotten lost in. So, for that reason, it's one of the better Scream movies I've ever seen. In fact, it's one of the better sequels to a horror movie I've ever seen. To actually take the killer out of their traditional area and make it work as well as they did. Because let's be honest, Scream 2, when they went to college, it did still feel like Scream. It still did feel like they were in Woodsboro, even though they weren't. To take them to someplace as extremely different as what we got in this movie was a massive change. And it ups the threat level as well. To have Ghostface be able to chase people all the way around New York City. So for that to be the case, I now have a very different opinion of taking horror movie characters out of their element. I've always said if done right, it could be cool, but this movie did it right. They gave us a story that from the very beginning, the very moment we open up, feels a little bit different and jarring to the Ghostface fans. To the people who actually watch all the Scream movies, you suddenly are in this roller coaster with the people in the movie. You don't know where you're going or what you're going to see next. And then when the rules are presented to you, that changes everything. And pay very close attention to those rules when they're presented to you, because they more or less are going to just be like, hey, more rules. But it's very important in the Scream franchise to always pay attention to what they say the rules are, because some of it is a little bit foreshadowing. And that's a good thing. That makes us detectives in the movie. And as detectives in the movie, when we're watching it, if we could guess who the killers are successfully, then we've done our jobs. And that's the real trick here, is that this movie genuinely feels like that's what they're aiming at. Like that's what they're trying to do. They have the people in the movie actually concerned about the welfare of all their friends. Stay together, do this, do that. Everything that they're trying to do is very rational, very in the moment at the same time, very much plotted out to survive this franchise, to survive this movie. And when you can do that and still switch it up to where the people are still in danger, where you don't feel safe even in a big group, then that's a way to do a horror film. Some of the better horror films I've seen have had people in a bigger group that aren't necessarily all splitting off at the same time. You usually know if someone splits off from the group that that's when they're going to get it. This movie doesn't really allow you to think too much about that. A majority of the movie, these people are trying to act like real human beings. They're trying to rationalize what they're doing and how they're going to do it to survive. This movie actually does the Scream franchise probably more justice than any other Scream movie since the original. And I don't say this lightly in terms of why. because it is a much gorier film, and Ghostface for the first time in a long time feels like a threat. And so often when we are watching movies with other franchises, we suddenly stop being afraid of these characters. They lose some of the fear factor. I mean, to be honest, I love the Halloween franchise, but Michael Myers being scary only comes about in certain moments, and none will ever top the very first time you saw him in the first Halloween franchise. Scream has a unique way of having to do things because they do have to keep it grounded in reality. At no time does Ghostface become anything other than a human being in a mask, and a different one every time at that. To be able to keep that fresh and keep the motives fresh and keep everything sort of going the way they do is a good thing. But this movie outdoes it because taking him out of that entire element of Woodsboro and still making it so that there is a motive that fits, a reason for the killings and everything else that they do here, and to make it that much more gory while maintaining the basic formula of the movie as we know it is a good thing. It's definitely something that they did right in this movie. How many times do you hear that Freddy isn't scary anymore, that Jason isn't scary anymore, that Chucky isn't scary anymore, that Michael Myers just isn't scary anymore, Pinhead just isn't scary anymore? To maintain this level of actually making you afraid of Ghostface, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, for the first time since probably Scream 2, I was actually terrified of Ghostface. It's not that I don't like the previous films. I love the entire Scream franchise, and I love every single one of the films for different reasons. But this film really did outdo it. It's on a much gorier level, a much more roller coaster vibe to it. And I, for one, am certainly down with it. I give this movie 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth watching if you are a Scream fan. And if you are not a Scream fan, well, this movie may be the one that changes your mind. Alright, so leave us a comment in the comment box below and let us know what you thought. Of course, try to keep it spoiler free. And then share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the channel and it's free and we appreciate it. And then friends, hit that subscribe button because Miko says we need more subscribers and you don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, Miko knows it. Fandom is family.